Thank you very much, Program Director, and a very good morning to everyone who is here today. In salutation, I would like to recognize Her Excellency Vice President to the Republic of the Gambia, and thank you very much for your speech. I'd like to recognize Minister of Health of the Government of Tunisia, the Chair of PPD and board members, fellow panelist members, Vice Minister and PPD country coordinators, partners of PPD, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like, first and foremost, on behalf of the government of South Africa, and in particular our President Cyril Ramaphosa, to send our condolences to the Tunisian people of the passing of their president and their loss, and of course condolences to Mexico for our colleague who should have been here with us, who unfortunately also passed on. I like honorable members to refer back to what the remarks by our distinguished guest and speaker from China, who spoke about the fact that China was a closed and backward country. And now China speaks of prosperity. And coming from South Africa, I would like to say we would like to learn and take a page from where China was to where China is today. I would also like to say, with regard to the comments that were made by the Vice President of the Republic of Gambia, the political will. One of the biggest challenges that we face is about ensuring that we not only have political will, but we also implement the decisions that we take, and the political will is at the center of what we are supposed to express, because all of us present here, we are representing our different countries. We still represent peoples who are struggling, we still represent women who are abused, we still represent people who find themselves without food on a day-to-day basis. And therefore, for me, that political will of lifting our people from poverty, violence, and all the ills of society is at the center of the reason why we are here. And my view is that issues of population are at the center of the work that we have to do. We are gathered here in Tunis for the 16th International Inter-Ministerial Conference on South-South Cooperation in Population and Development. We are also celebrating the 25th birthday of the Partners of Population and Development, the PPD, as we approach the 25th anniversary of ICPD Program of Action, which was also agreed upon in the North African region in Cairo. We shall meet over the next 2 days to deliberate on consolidating gains and reaffirming the commitments for achievement of the ICPD Program of Action and Sustainable Development Goals. First of all, I want to recognize and pay tribute to the visionary leaders of the Global South who came together in Cairo 25 years ago to form the PPD. They did not merely agree to form the PPD, they shared a vision that the objectives of ICPD Program of Action would only be fully realized if developing countries cooperated among themselves in pursuit of sustainable human development. The reason for this is quite simple. Developing countries share similar challenges in the area of population and development, and we are addressing these challenges within comparable social, economic, environmental contexts. We do so with similar resource constraints, and we all rely on innovation and our human capital to solve the problems that we are confronted with. It flows logically that we can therefore make a lot of progress by learning from each other the best practices. Chairperson, many developing countries have seized upon this idea, and as a result, the world is configuring quite differently from how we knew it 25 years ago. Many countries that were classified as least developed back then have markedly improved the quality of life of their people. A number of developing countries have become highly developed, and some of our peers have become international players who who must be taken seriously in the global economy. By being taken seriously is only if you pull the rest of your people along with you. Distinguished participants, over the past 25 years, we've seen an acceleration in the recognition that men and women are equal, and with that the recognition of rights that flows from that. In particular, sexual and reproductive rights are a logical consequence of a commitment to gender equality. But to make this reality in the lives of the women and men of the world, we must achieve certain fundamentals, including 1, universal access to reproductive health and family planning services, the eradication of gender-based violence, harnessing the demographic dividend in a way that includes women and men, girls and boys, reducing maternal and child deaths. These are the themes of the session of this year's International Ministerial Conference, which will be deliberated on by exchanging best practices with each other. Of course, there are many more issues to discuss, and many that have been discussed at previous interministerial conferences. Chairperson and distinguished guest participants, we look forward to many interesting presentations over the next 2 days, and hopefully also rigorous debates. We should not shy away from the issues that we do not agree on. We should interrogate the ideas that are placed in front of us so that we can sharpen our thinking and so that we can build on a good idea so that they become even better ideas. We should use the space that is provided by this conference to enrich ourselves. More importantly, the enrichment of ourselves must challenge convention in our own home countries. We must translate what we learn here into richer, better, and more progressive services to our people. The ICBT program of action was and still is a transformative, if not revolutionary program. A revolution is, however, only meaningful if it transforms people's lives to something better. Let us embrace the promise of transformation that we signed up when we adopted the ICPD program of action, when we formed the PPD, to revolutionize our people's lives for the better. I thank you.